You've been talking to a lot of voters. And I will just say that you texted me right around the Democratic convention and you said, I am talking to people and Kamala Harris has a problem with black men.
Yeah. And I told the campaign I did not hear from them. I mean, who am I for them to get back to me? But there's a problem. And look, I went from battleground state to battleground state. When they invited me to the convention, I didn't just want to fly there. I said, I'm going to go and talk to voters in battleground states. And I did. It was not curated. I went up to people just doing man on the street. Who are you going to vote for? Black men. And time after time after time, they said, I'm voting for Donald Trump.
Why?
Now, their reasons why. They said, because most of the time they said, well, for economic reasons, right? Or because he gave me a stimulus check. And I had to correct them over and over and tell them that stimulus check came from a Democratic Congress and from Nancy Pelosi, and that Donald Trump actually held the check up so that his name could be put on the check. So they think they got the check directly from him. Meanwhile, Joe Biden has given 1 or 2 stimulus checks as well, but they seem not to know and understand that. You can vote for whoever you want to vote for, but the reasons that you're going to vote for them, I think that they should be accurate and factual, and you should know why you're supporting someone.
I want to play this again because I just picked up on something new. May I just say the first thing here?
Yes.
Are there lenses in his glasses, or is he just wearing those to be the pretentious buffoon that he is? I want 2 things. I'm going to replay this so we can bask in all its glory. And I've picked up on something that I missed the first time.
Talking to a lot of voters. And I will just say that you texted me right around the Democratic convention and you said, I am talking to people and Kamala Harris has a problem with black men.
Yeah. And I told the campaign I did not hear from them. I mean, who am I for them to get back to me? But
do we sense a little bit of sass there? Who am I? I'm only Don Lemon. I only demanded that Elon Musk pay me $5 million a year for my 10,000 video hits. Who am I? They didn't get back to me. I'll tell you something. Who am I? Like, if I reach out, I don't expect people to get back to me. Who am I? I'm only a former CNN anchor. I didn't pick up on his sass insult because he's a superficial, thin-skinned, arrogant, pompous jerk who thinks that his voice is the most important voice on earth. But listen to this.
There's a problem. And look, I went from battleground state to battleground state. When they invited me to the convention, I didn't just want to fly there. I said, I'm going to go and talk to voters in battleground states. And I did.
And I watched those videos, Don. They were amazing how you had your butt handed to you by pretty much everyone you interviewed. Who are you voting for? Trump. Who are you voting for? Trump. You were in Atlanta, Georgia, and they were saying, I'm voting for Trump. And you were trying to correct them there as well when some guy said to you, of course, I was better off 4 years ago than I am now. And you said, well, I know the record shows, I know you feel that way. But the record actually shows that you're better off now than you were 4 years ago. Thanks, man. I think I know who pays the groceries in my house. But listen to this.
It was not curated. I went up to people just doing man on the street. Who are you going to vote for? Black men. And time after time after time, they said, I'm voting for Donald Trump.
Why?
Now, their reasons why. They said, because most of the time they said, well, for economic reasons.
Pause. This is what you call sandwiching a lie. This is true. Economic reasons. Because everybody he asked the question to said they were better off 4 years ago than they are today. They had more purchasing power 4 years ago than they had today. They all said that. Economic reasons. You know what I did not see ever at any point in his man on the streets? Any one of the people that he asked why they were voting for Trump saying, it's because he gave me a $2,000 stimulus check when governors across the country shut down our states. Nobody said that.
Right? Or because he gave me a stimulus check. And
No. You notice he put the or, it's a disjunctive, not a conjunctive. So it could be one or the other. And he's technically not lying. It was either economic reasons or the stimulus check. In reality, I did not see one person say the stimulus check. So he's lying, but in a very deceitful way where it technically is not a lie because it's true. It's one or the other. It just happens to not be the economic stimulus check. Then he goes on to lecture more black
to correct them over and over and tell them.
I have to correct these silly people. First of all, that is racism, by the way. That is racism where he is lying because I firmly believe he's lying. And I put out a challenge on Twitter. Not that I expect an answer because who the hell am I? I said, Don, I dare you to show me a video where any one of the black men that you claim to have interviewed said they were voting for Trump because of the stimulus check. They sure as heck said because of the economy. But show me one video where one of the black men you allegedly interviewed said they're voting for Trump because of the stimulus check. I guarantee you it didn't happen. And what Don Lemon is doing right there is deeply rooted racism, basically implying that black men are bought off with, freebies from the government. They said the economy was better 4 years ago than it is now. Everybody says that. I mean, everybody except for Bill Maher and, Don Lemon. Liar. And appreciate the insidiousness of that disjunctive lie. Well, the moon is either made out of moon rock or cheese. I'm not lying, but it's a stupid lie to say it could possibly be made out of cheese. Well, they're voting for Trump because of economics, or something that is a flat out lie. Don Lemon I'm convinced he's a liar. And then I'm going to have to eat crow if he comes out with videos of black men that he interviewed saying, yeah, I'm voting for Trump because the government gave me a $2,000 stimulus check when they ruined my life by locking me down, making me celebrate Christmas alone, compelling me to get a jibby jab. Don Lemon is a liar. And now let's take a brief pause from this video for a word from our sponsor. Remember Event 201 just before an election? Bill Gates, the World Economic Forum, and Johns Hopkins ran a pandemic simulation in October of 2019. Months later, COVID hit. Well, here we go again. It's October. We're on the verge of a historic election and the recent bird flu summit. They announced a full-scale pandemic exercise coming October 21st. Wake up. This might be the October surprise. Last time we were caught off guard, but now we have a proven solution to protect ourselves and our families. The wellness company created the medical emergency kit, and every home in America should have at least one of these. They're packed with life-saving meds like ivermectin, amoxicillin, and even Z-Pak, and it's all backed by experts like Dr. Peter McCullough. Just a few clicks, and the kit is delivered right to your front door. In times like these, having your own medical emergency kit is a necessity. Get your kit by heading over to twc.health/Viva. Use promo code VIVA for $30 off. Act now, take control, and ensure you're protected against whatever comes next. That is twc.health/Viva. Promo code VIVA gets you $30 off and free shipping right now. Kits are only available in the States. And now back to the vlog. Of course, everyone at CNN is a liar, period. Lying through omission or lying through dishonest disjunctions is a lie. But he's not the only one. What's his face? Liar extraordinaire, Gavin Newsom. They got it now. It's deflect. It's always deflect in terms of getting away from Kamala Harris because they have no sound bites. Do you notice, by the way, any clip that anyone who says Kamala Harris performed well last night is sharing is like truncated to 28 seconds? I mean, so truncated because you cannot play 60 seconds consecutive of Kamala Harris talking last night and say that it's a bona fide W, that it makes her look good. You can't. I defy anybody to show me 60 seconds of Kamala talking last night that you can then definitively say most people would agree this makes her look good. You can't do it. And so what is it today? Much like it was last night. Deflection, deflection, deflection. Ma-Trump, ma-Trump, ma-Trump. What did RFK Jr. say during his press conference? Who needs policy when you have Trump to hate? Well, this is what Gavin Newsom's publishing today. And you'll notice something. Gavin Newsom is a POS liar. Piece of scum, by the way. I'm not saying piece of shit. Why would that's rude. That's swearing. Pond scum. POS. Gavin Newsom says, question, could you explain your gun control policy to the parents of the victims of school shootings? Donald Trump. You need guns. You need them for entertainment, for sports, and other things. What a disgusting, soulless answer. Here, let me play it, because you might be inclined to believe that was his answer.
With respect, could you explain your gun control policy to the parents of the victims of school shootings?
I could. We have a Second Amendment and right to bear arms, essentially. And I'm very strongly an advocate of that. I think you need that. I think that if you ever tried to get rid of it, you wouldn't be able to do it. You wouldn't.
By the way, this is what you call a preface to an answer?
Be able to take away the guns because people need that for security. They need it for entertainment and for sport and other things. But thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry. What happened? I'm sorry. I was waiting for him to finish his answer, Gavin.
Need that for security. They need it for entertainment and for sport and other things. But
I'm sorry. Now, by the way, I haven't yet gotten the full answer. I'd love to hear what Trump actually has to say to answer that question. There were more rolling blackouts in Gavin Newsom's failed California state. So he was screen recording it like I do off his phone. And then, the power went out because Gavin Newsom, in addition to literally enacting policy that sets his state on fire, the rolling blackouts that also plague his state caused his phone to go dead. And he didn't get to finish Trump's answer, which is why that's what he limited it to. Scumbag liars is what they are. It was deflection through and through last night. And it's going to be deflection through and through today. I did put out a small challenge here. I'm going to needle Mark Cuban until he replies or until he blocks me or until he keeps ignoring me. I don't even think Mark Cuban knows who I am because I'm not Don Lemon. Anybody who sells Kamala Harris' interview with Bret Baier was anything but an abject disaster for her can never be trusted again. Why? They're either stupid, compromised, or liars, or a wonderful combination thereof. Consequences the same. You can't trust them on a going forward basis. Retweet and tag someone who you think deserves to see this. I'll start. Mark Cuban. Something is wrong with Mark Cuban in the head. He's either doing this out of extortion or he's doing this to buy favors for someone who, by all metrics, is going to get her ass handed to her in the next November 5th election. This is Mark Cuban in all his wisdom. This man's a billionaire, by the way, so congratulations. Even mentally deficient idiots can become billionaires. The beautiful thing about the Brett Baer interview is that Kamala Harris understood and responded to each question. You know who said this? Jill Biden about Joe Biden. You answered all the questions. And what did Donald Trump do? He lied. I mean, Mark, congratulations. You are Kamala Harris's Jill Biden. Mark Cuban is to Kamala Harris what Jill Biden is to Joe Biden. Okay, she understood and responded to each question. She used examples of policies. What effing planet is this idiot living on? She gave real world context. What? Oh, when I was a prosecutor, I prosecuted transnational gangs. Go listen to Harmeet Dillon's interview with Tucker Carlson to understand the dearth of professional experience that Kamala Harris had even as a prosecutor. When Brett went hard after her, she didn't first of all, work on your punctuation. When Brett went hard after her, she didn't call him names. She didn't quit the interview. She didn't make things up. She never once complained the questions were tough. She never played the victim card. She didn't lose her temper. You didn't watch the freaking debate, or either that or you have been lobotomized, Mark. She didn't take bait to diminish or talk down to Trump supporters. She stood with him with full force and never backed down. He has been the president and campaigning for 9 years. Kamala Harris has caught up to him in just 100 days. That speaks volumes. It speaks volumes to you. You're absolutely mentally deficient. It's why people want to vote for her. That's why so many Republicans and independents are supporting her. Republicans like Dick Cheney and Liz Cheney. She is everything her opponent is not and will never be: strong, smart, and measured. I want to make the funny joke like she's not going to sleep with you, Mark, but I don't think that's not what Mark's after with this idiotic pandering.